Have you ever stopped to think what it would be like if you could simply disappear, leave everything behind, and start fresh? What if you could transform into a new person, change your reality, and steer your life in a completely different direction? The idea of disappearing holds a profound symbolic power. It speaks to the desire for transformation, renewal, and the urge to escape the chains that bind us to the past and the limitations of our daily lives. But what if I told you that disappearing doesn't have to be something literal? You don't need to vanish from the radar, change your identity, or disappear off the map to feel like you're making a real transformation in your life. The true disappearance we're talking about here is the one that happens within you. It's the disappearance of what no longer serves you, of what limits your growth, of the beliefs that keep you trapped, and of the old versions of yourself you've already outgrown. Have you thought about this? You today are the sum of all the choices you've made up until now. And maybe, even though you've evolved, there's something inside you, a feeling that something is missing or that life could be different. Not because the world is different, but because deep down, you wish to be different. The concept of disappearing, in this sense, is more about letting go of who you were up until now, to begin being who you truly are or who you have the potential to become. This transformation doesn't happen overnight, and it isn't easy. In fact, the process of disappearing is often painful, demanding, and even frightening. But it's in facing this discomfort that you'll find the true path to personal growth. Imagine you're standing in front of a huge mess, a place where things are piled up haphazardly, with no order. Maybe it's your room, your house, your mind, or even your life. If you truly wanted to transform this space, the first thing you'd need to do is a massive cleaning, right? Throw away what no longer makes sense, what no longer serves you. And the same thing happens when you decide to disappear in the symbolic sense. To transform your life, you must first let go of what's weighing you down. It might be a toxic relationship, a job that no longer brings you joy, or even behavioral patterns that you repeat out of unconscious habit. What's holding you back? What's in your way? By making space for the new, you allow the opportunities for transformation to truly manifest. This first step is about detachment. It's not easy, we know that. After all, we often fear emptiness, the unknown. The idea of letting go of what seems safe, even if it no longer serves us, can be terrifying. But the truth is, in order to grow, the old must dissolve so that the new can bloom. The fear of the new, the fear of failure, the fear of exposure. These are all obstacles that are part of the journey of disappearance and transformation. When you decide to change, don't fool yourself into thinking that the process will be smooth and without challenges. You'll face internal resistance, thoughts telling you that you're not capable, or that it's too late to try. And perhaps the hardest part, you'll confront doubt, insecurity, and discomfort from not knowing if you're making the right choice. However, each fear you confront, each doubt you overcome, is a step toward your new version. Transformation doesn't happen in comfort. It happens when you choose to leave your safe zone and dive headfirst into uncertainty. Because, see, if you keep doing the same things predictably and comfortably, you'll never truly disappear and emerge as something new. It's not about just being courageous or bold, but about making a real decision to change your life. Confronting your fears is a constant practice, one that feeds off self-awareness and the desire to grow. You can't try to run away from them. The only way to overcome them is to face them head-on, understanding that fear isn't an obstacle, but a key to what's next. You need to learn to use fear to your advantage. It can teach you a lot about what you truly want and the limits you still need to surpass. Now that you've started to disappear from the old versions of yourself, and you're confronting your fears, it's time to build a new foundation, one that is stronger and more authentic. But in order to do that, you need to know who you really are. Not who others expect you to be, not who society says you should be, but who you feel you are at your core. To transform, you must understand your deepest values. What's important to you? What principles will guide your new journey? These values will be the foundation upon which you build your new self. They will keep you grounded in times of turbulence, because when you know what's non-negotiable for you, it becomes easier to make decisions aligned with your inner truth. Rebuilding yourself takes time and patience, but it's also a liberating process. Imagine the peace of being at ease with who you are, no longer having to wear masks or play roles that don't make sense. Each step toward authenticity is a step toward freedom, and you're becoming the person you've always wanted to be, without fear of judgment or failure. Often, transformation happens gradually, like a seed slowly sprouting in the soil. Don't expect change to be instantaneous. It requires persistence, dedication, and courage to keep going, even when the results are not immediate. And of course, when you start to see internal transformation, you will need to act in accordance with this new person you're becoming. This is when you begin to take full responsibility for your life. You will no longer blame your environment, others, or fate for things not turning out as you'd hoped. On the contrary, you'll recognize that you are the only one responsible for your journey and the choices you make every day. This is one of the greatest forms of transformation, the ability to act with integrity and authenticity, regardless of external circumstances. Persistence is key because the journey of transformation is never linear. Sometimes you'll take a step forward and 2 steps back, but that's part of the process. Believe me, if you continue with courage, even when things get tough, the process of disappearance and transformation will come to fruition. You just need to trust in your ability to keep moving forward. True transformation doesn't happen in the past or the future, but in the present moment. The secret to lasting change is the ability to live in the here and now, without clinging to what happened before or worrying too much about what's to come. It is in the present that the real magic happens, because it's here that you can take charge of your life and create the reality you desire. To transform, you must treat each day as a new opportunity to do things differently, to be different. And remember, transformation is not about being perfect, it's about being true to yourself. Fear, challenges, and even failures are part of the process, but each one contributes to your growth. As you embrace the new, you'll begin to realize that, little by little, your transformation will come to life, and you'll have disappeared from the limitations that once held you back. Now, the final question: what happens after you've transformed? Well, the process is never truly complete because transformation is a constant journey, a never-ending path. You will continue changing, evolving, disappearing from the older versions of yourself, and becoming a more authentic, aligned version of who you truly are. This is the power of disappearance and transformation. You become free to be who you really are, without restraints, without limitations, just living in your truth. If you feel ready to start your own transformation journey, be sure to subscribe to the channel and like this video. Together, we can explore how to disappear from what no longer serves us and make room for a more powerful version of ourselves. Don't forget to turn on notifications, because throughout this journey, we'll continue sharing tips, reflections, and stories that might be just the push you need to take the next step in your evolution. The transformation begins now, and you are the protagonist